Um, Hello, most lovelies. So, this is the first teaching from the somatic realm, which I am broadcasting in this way. And somatic means of the body. And so, when I talk about the somatic realm, I'm talking about the felt sense experience of being human. And I have been studying my internal world, my feeling, my body, my sensed, my intuitive experience in a lot of detail in deep meditation for many years now. And the guidance, the information, the magic that's come through is world evolving. And this one has come through for you. So, ever since I myself went through a process of healing trauma in my body, I've been shown how the body holds energy and kind of hides it. So, in a nutshell, to be traumatized means that there's an unresolved something that happened in the past that was not resolved, and it physiologically, energetically in the body, this means something happened that caused the body to go into fight flight mode. So huge amounts of energy was mobilized in the system. But for whatever reason, the person experiencing it didn't fight or run away. Perhaps they couldn't. So the energy is held in the body. And this happens particularly in humans, whereas it doesn't tend to in other mammals because we have advanced cognition, we're able to suppress what the body would do to release that energy, which is to shake. My knowing is that while there's an understanding about this energetic experience, the question of what is actually happening in the body, what the body is actually doing, how it actually shelves these experiences, this energy, is still kind of up for grabs. And I've been so mesmerized by that and so intent on finding out that I've spent thousands of hours watching the insides of my body with my awareness over the past 7 years. And this is what I have seen, and it is magical. The body has the capacity to take energy and put it somewhere so that it seems to disappear, but it hasn't. So, in these parts of the body, we might experience things like tension or numbness. But it's very likely that that part of us, our body, has been tense or numb for such a long time that we have no idea what it's like to not feel that. So, to us, it's just normal. But nevertheless, there is this holding. And initially, often when the body kind of takes this big energy and puts it somewhere, there's this sense of holding, so a gripping and probably an ache or a pain. But then what tends to happen is that it's shelved even deeper, whether that's in the head, the eyes, the knees, the feet, the wrist, whatever it is. And the pain goes, and as I said, there's a kind of a numbness. And whenever I experience this and think about it, it reminds me of what they talk about when they talk about black holes. But these amazing places in the universe where there's a kind of an energy which is there but not there at the same time. Our body does this all the time with things that we can't shake out, or emotion, or sensation that we're not ready to feel yet. So for a very long time, and particularly from the past 100 years or so, because particularly in the West, particularly in England, there's been lots of trauma from the two world wars. And I'm just amusing myself the way I said that, 2 world wars. And our ancestors, the people who came before us, have had to shelve a lot of difficult things that happened in order to keep calm and carry on. And so there's a lot of trauma being held in our families' bodies and inherited trauma that's held in our own. And now, because this is such a pinnacle time on earth, because as was prophesied by indigenous communities, by truth tellers, wise seers, hundreds if not thousands of years ago, that now, particularly around the year 2012, there's going to be mass evolution, mass awakening on planet Earth, because there has to be, because we have to create a new way of living and being if we are to preserve our precious planet. So now is the time for us to step into our power. Now is the time for us to step into our glory and our magic. And in order to do that, we have to literally reclaim the parts of us which have been shelved in our bodies. So often, particularly for those who identify as women or in the womb space, as well as trauma being trapped there, energy has literally been suppressed and pushed down because it's not been safe for us to... Oh God, my body just wants to move when I say this. It's not been safe for women to own their power. We've lived in a world where, to quite a degree, often it was so much easier as a woman to simply retain the status quo of your life and of the world by dumbing yourself down or bowing or agreeing to being less than, or to following others, or to nodding when you don't really believe something, or to acting meek, or being beautiful on the outside and letting your inner power be suppressed, whatever it is. But now we have to reclaim this. And so it's time. It's time for these places where, under these magical invisibility cloaks in our body, energy has been held to open up. And it's not just about being a woman. Humans generally, we have been suppressing intuition, extrasensory abilities, the glory of being human and being a physical conduit for spiritual energy to move through. We've not been in touch with this. We've been pushing it down as a way to seem normal in the world for a very long time, and now it has to come out. And as these pockets of immense energy begin to open, whether it's, held in a limb, held in an organ, held in parts of the brain, shit goes down. There's chakras opening, there's energy centers, third eyes, heart spaces, sacral spaces, root spaces opening. And this is a little bit of mania for the mind, for how we experience ourselves normally in the world, in these bodies. All these shifts create upheaval internally, and it has to happen, and it's okay. And a lot of the people who are the traditional doctors, therapists in this world might not necessarily be the ones who are on this awakening path, so they don't understand. And when they look at you with your challenge in your mind or your emotions or your body, all they can see is illness, and that's not their fault. But I'm here to tell you that there's something profound, important, and amazing happening to you as your body opens up, as the energy moves around, as your consciousness awakens and broadens. And this often looks like pain. Imagine if your hand had been clasped like this for decades, or even, familial holding patterns go on for lifetimes, so hundreds of years, and then it started to open. It would hurt a little bit. There'd be a lot of energy starting to move. I think it'd be a bit of a Robin Williams, Genie and Aladdin moment. 10,000 years in this thing will give you such a crick in the neck. Like, it's gonna hurt. And yeah, the third eye opening, mine, plays havoc with my eyes, with my head, with the way I'm experiencing the world. And traditional medicine, all it can do is see migraines or give you glasses. And another thing about migraines, so often, particularly in women, the migraine is there. It's linked all the way down to the womb space. And this is why often we get them when it's our time to menstruate. And the reason is that there's an immense amount of power and amazing magic moving around the womb space at this time. And yet we have not been taught to honor it or allow it or welcome it or give space to it. So the body can only suppress it. So this enormous energy is being like pushed in like a boiled potato. And it really freaking hurts. And often that energy, this happens in synchronization with a kind of attempt to exit the body. So the energy, if it doesn't feel safe to be with the immense power that's around the lower parts of the body, tries to kind of move upwards, stay near the mind where it's safe, stay near the crown, perhaps where it hopes it can get out. And this causes a migraine. And I'm so sorry if this is true for you because it freaking hurts. And I would invite you to open to your womb. Perhaps check out some womb yoga. Perhaps meditate with your womb. Perhaps take some space to be in stillness and kindness with your body when you're bleeding. There's so much more that I could say about this and will say in the future, but really the overarching message is from my body to you, from my body to yours, from your body to you. There's amazing things happening and there's a lot of new energy moving. So it could look like anxiety. It's going to look like anxiety, fight, flight as it begins to be released. Whoa, what on earth is this? And particularly if you're not really in touch with your body, you're going to be more aware of what the mind's saying about what's happening in the body as opposed to the visceral feelings of it. So the mind is freaking out, but it's okay. Really, it's okay. So I invite you, if this is the case for you, to find me on Facebook. Let me know. We can dialogue. Ellie Pascal Wellbeing. Email me, we can dialogue, epmeditation@gmail.com, or go to my website, elliepascal.com, or find some time to meditate with your body and ask it what it needs. On my YouTube channel, Ellie Pascal Radical Wellbeing, there's a guided meditation. I think it's called Opening Kindly to the Body, which will support you to do this. Just be like, body, what's up? Tell me. If you open to that, if you give space to your body to hear it, she, he, they will start to speak to you. And you'll begin to learn and mine incredible magic and wisdom that will help you to know what step to take next to have even greater health. I love you, you are safe, your body is evolving, your mind is evolving, you are well, and you're exactly where you need to be.